Flavor family, what is up? It is Art and Bobby in the grocery store at Mariano's, actually, in Ravenswood in Chicago. Thank you for inviting us. It is nice to be welcomed into a grocery store and not worry about the Waldos. And we're going to do a video all about seafood. That has been one of the most popular requests on the Flav City YouTube channel. We're going to talk about seafood, wild versus farm raised. What's good? What's bad? What to avoid when it comes to salmon, shrimp, scallops, tilapia. We're going to cover it all. We're going to get you from A to Z when it comes to seafood. Before we do that, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, 3 to 4 videos a week. But to make sure you don't miss out, there is a bell icon below the video. Enable all notifications. That way you get a push on your mobile device whenever we go live, especially for the live streams, you guys. They're super fun. We're making a recipe from start to finish, and you do not want to miss out. Okay, let's come over to the seafood case here. And I think we should start with something that everyone loves. It's the most popular question I get on social media, salmon. And the most popular question I get is wild or farm raised. And the thing is, it's not an easy answer because the answer is both. And it depends a lot about where the farm comes from, the quality of the feed, the quality of the aquaculture, and the recipe. So something that's widely accessible to everyone, no matter where you live, check it out, is farm raised salmon. So you're always gonna find farm raised Atlantic salmon everywhere. Now, this is really nice because look at the marbling or the fat in there. There's big ribbons of fat. That's because farm raised has more calories and more fat versus wild. Whereas if you come over here, Art, this is wild sockeye salmon. And look, you don't see those ribbons of fat. So I actually prefer a lot of times to use this farm raised Atlantic salmon because if you use that lean wild salmon, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to overcook it. One of the few wild salmons that is actually very fatty is called king salmon. But guess what? It's $30 a pound, so it's very, very expensive. I don't buy that. Now, here's the deal. Farm salmon is great for many applications, but where you get your farm salmon is the key to this whole video. There's good quality farm-raised salmon. The best quality I know about and that I researched is from USA, Canada, Norway, and Scotland. So what do I mean by good quality farm-raised salmon? I mean, they come from responsibly farmed aquacultures. It's usually a net in the ocean, and they're basically swimming in the actual saltwater in the ocean, but the nets or the ponds are not overcrowded. Bad farm-raised salmon is super overcrowded, and there's many other issues that come with that I'll talk about in a second. The feed is all natural. There's no antibiotics. There's no animal byproduct in the feed, and they're treated in a very humane way. They don't add any filler, or they don't add any color to the fish except for beta carotene. The reason why it gets nice and orange like that is because they put beta carotene in the feed, because wild salmon swim naturally, right? They get a ton of nutrients. They get a lot of blood running through their muscles and through their flesh. That's why the color is so brilliant for the wild. They have to put beta carotene in the farm raised. Now, Norway is a great place to get salmon from. A lot of the farm salmon from the grocery stores come from there. Actually, if you go to Costco, they get it from Norway. Costco in the past used to get it from Chile, but Chile is one of the places you want to avoid, and the other areas are Asia. Southeast Asia and Asia are just known for having bad farming practices where they overcrowd the pens, same thing as Chile. They use antibiotics, they put animal byproduct or poop into the feed, and it's just a terrible condition for the fish. That's the kind you want to avoid. So down below in the description box is a list of all the good stuff to look for and a website called seafoodwatch.org that could tell you any kind of seafood you want to eat, what to buy wild, what to buy farm raised, and where to get it from. And the reason why I like responsibly farmed salmon is it's very hard to overcook, right? Like I said, the wild salmon has no fat. You're going to overcook it. With this, you're not going to overcook it because it has a lot of fat. Think about a heavily marbled steak. There is room for error there. So I have 3 recipes on one blog, making 3 amazing recipes with the farm-raised salmon. It's an Asian salmon cake with a sticky sesame glaze. It's a crispy skin salmon recipe, and it's a brown sugar and citrus glazed salmon recipe. If you're looking for inspiration, I got you hooked up. All those recipes are down below. Guys, let's take a quick break from the video and thank today's sponsor, Four Sigmatic, who is a longtime supporter of the channel. Four Sigmatic is something I use on a daily basis because they believe in the power of functional superfood mushrooms like reishi, changa, lion's mane, and they put them in really cool products like teas, elixirs, coffee, and one of my favorite, protein mixes. So the reason why I believe in superfood mushrooms from Four Sigmatic is because they are the real deal. They support your memory, productivity, your brain, your focus. They're fantastic products. And if you go on the website, check out the coffee section. All the coffees have mushrooms infused, but no, they don't taste like mushrooms. Better yet, the elixirs section has one of my favorite things. It's the mushroom golden latte mix. This is my nightcap at night. It has turmeric, organic coconut milk powder. It is fantastic. And my favorite protein powder out there right now is Four Sigmatics superfood protein with protein and mushrooms. 18 grams of protein, no filler, no natural flavors. This stuff is a must. And the reason why it's a must, right now they're having their annual Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal that only goes until December 4th. In the description box below, use my link, you get 15% off your order. And for Cyber Monday, you get an additional 20 to 50% off. It's the best deal ever, but it's a great opportunity to try this protein powder. I love it. So big thank you to them for sponsoring the video, and check them out because you're gonna love it. Now keep in mind, when you see this fresh or thawed salmon here at the market, it's not fresh. 90% of the seafood here is always frozen. The key is that it's only frozen and thawed one time. The demand for seafood is so high in this world that if we only relied on fresh and wild-caught seafood, there would not be enough. So don't pay an extra price or don't think this is fresh, because it's not. But if I go over to the case here, this is what that fish was like when it came in, you know, whatever, yesterday or the day before. It was like this, 100% frozen. And I'm okay with this. If it's a better deal for this, just buy it, stash it in the freezer. But the key is you only thaw it out once. Once you start to thaw something, refreeze it and thaw it again, not only are you talking about a health issue because you could put bacteria in there, but a texture issue. This stuff gets really, really mushy. So that's pretty much it about salmon. So let's move on to big shrimping. Hey, Paul, I got a question for you here. So of these shrimp here, which are the wild ones?
Only a wild-caught product in Argentina.
Okay, so they're wild caught.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Anytime someone has a question shopping, they can just ask the fishmonger, right? They're going to tell them everything they have to know, right?
Yes.
Good to know.
Sometimes we have to check.
Hey, but when in doubt, ask the fishmonger, right? Look for Paul. Thank you, Paul. So knowing that, here's some shrimp we have. Check it out. We have raw white shrimp, farm-raised product of Indonesia. Can you see that? And then back there, there's smaller shrimp, product of Indonesia. And then over here, there's Patagonian shrimp, wild caught, product of Argentina, que pasó. And there's black tiger shrimp, huge, deveined, easy peel, farm-raised, product of Vietnam. So, 4 different choices here, right? What do you do? Well, unlike with salmon, I really don't want you to buy farm-raised shrimp, because farm-raised shrimp, for the most part, come from Asia and Southeast Asia, and the farming practices are not very good. And another bad thing about that is they usually test pretty high in heavy metals and contaminants. You do not want heavy metals like lead in your body. A buildup of that can be really, really bad news. So the one word I want you to look for whenever it comes to shrimp are 2 words actually: wild caught. That is so important. I don't care if it's wild caught Argentinian, wild caught USA, Gulf of Mexico. Wild caught is super important because it is wild caught. It's swimming freely. It has no artificial feed. It's not in an overcrowded pen. So please look for that. I'm going to show you some other wild caught options in the freezer, because guess what? These came in frozen too. You never ever get fresh fish unless you live somewhere by a bay where they're coming in on a regular basis. We live in Chicago. The only bay is half a mile away, and that's the Bay of Lake Michigan. There ain't no shrimp in there. I got news for you for that. There's smelt. Smelt are fantastic. You ever have a smelt in the season when you were younger? A smelt fry? You never had that? Oh, if you live in Chicagoland or Lake Michigan area, smelt fry, leave a comment down below. That's awesome. So before I show you that, come over here, Art. When you're looking at shrimp, there's marketing terms like colossal, jumbo, big. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to this. It says 16 to 25. That's how many shrimp per pound. So that's about the size you're going to get for 16 to 25 in a pound. Whereas if I come here, Art, to the black tiger shrimp, look at that. All of a sudden, it's 8 to 12. Those are big boy shrimp, meaning there's 8 to 12 in a pound. So keep that in mind. If I'm not going to use these shrimp immediately, I don't care that they're fresh or thawed. I don't actually want them to be thawed. I want to get these. I want to get the frozen ones, but you have to look for the same thing, because man down, this is what you want to buy. Wild caught product of the USA shrimp here, Gulf of Mexico. Boom goes the dynamite, right? But if I get a generic bag of tail off shrimp here. These are cooked. By the way, never buy cooked shrimp because by the time you reheat them, they're gonna overcook. But if I look where these are from, it says product of Vietnam, farm raised. So fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. But if you're not gonna use those shrimp this week, buy frozen, buy wild caught. That is where it's at. Hey, Bubba Gump, right? What would Bubba Gump do? And before I forget, you guys, I have some really good shrimp recipes on my blog. I'll put links down below, but the one I want you to check out in particular is my keto, gluten-free, grain-free coconut shrimp with a sriracha mayo dipping sauce. Absolutely fantastic. That is a killer recipe in the cookbook too. It's awesome. Now, while I'm here, I just wanted to talk about, because I saw it, tilapia. Tilapia is one of those fishes that is always farmed. And here's the deal about tilapia. You can find some tilapia that is responsibly farmed, but I really limit the amount of tilapia I eat because of the nutritional profile. What do I mean by that? Well, the nutritional profile of this is not the best because it has high omega-6s and low omega-3s. When you're talking about the omega-3 fatty acid profile, you want it to be in a certain ratio. You want 3s to be higher and 6s to be lower, and in tilapia, it's way off. So I wouldn't eat too much of it, but if you do, you have to know exactly where it comes from. So it's a very, very dicey one. Okay, let's go back to the chill chest over here and talk about something I love. And I actually made meatballs this week out of scallops. Now, before you think that's blasphemy, I didn't use the big sea scallops for meatballs. I used a little bay scallop. So these are sea scallops. They're big because they're from the deep sea. Those are bay scallops. They're little baby scallops because they're from the bay, very close by. Now, here's the deal. If they're frozen, you're gonna get them in the freezer section. If they're fresh, you're gonna get them here. The nice thing about scallops is they're not farm raised, which is awesome, but they have to be very, very dry when you make it, because the key to making a super beautiful seared scallop, like at a restaurant, is getting dry. So when you get it here, take it home, put it between paper towels and dry off as much moisture as possible. And there's usually, Art, can you see, every scallop has an abductor muscle that is on the side of it. So you just have to pull it off because it's very rubbery. If you buy the frozen kind, thaw them 24 hours. Never rush thaw any seafood. It has to thaw naturally 12 to 24 hours in the fridge. And for shrimp and scallops, pat them as dry as possible because wet seafood will never get crusty in a pan. And when I make scallops, I get a ripping hot cast iron pan. I get it nice and crispy. Okay, let's talk about tuna. I love it. By the way, again, thank you for Mariano's for inviting us in. This is amazing to be able to film like this and not worry about Waldo's, and to be able to talk to Paul, the fishmonger. That's super cool. So tuna. Tuna is always wild caught, but I rarely ever eat tuna like this, ahi tuna or blue tuna, because it's very high in mercury. And right next to it, look at this, Art, swordfish. It's always wild caught, but swordfish and tuna are two of the most high mercury fish. So if you're pregnant, stay away from high mercury fishes. I'm gonna put a list down in the description box. The bigger the fish, the more mercury it has. And the fishes that eat the other fishes, like tuna, swordfish, and cod that are really big, they accumulate more mercury. So I generally stay away from that. And if you're buying canned tuna fish, avoid albacore. Those are bigger tunas. Get chunk light tuna. Chunk light are the smaller tuna that have much less mercury. I'm talking way less mercury. Because they're small, they push them together, they put them in the can. That's way better for you than albacore tuna anytime. And then almost every fishmonger grocery store is going to have freshwater fish like wild-caught whitefish. This is great because you know it's not farm-raised, so that's very, very cool. And check out the back. That one is actually farm-raised rainbow trout, but a lot of times you can find wild-caught freshwater rainbow trout. And then check that out, Art. It says organic salmon fillets in the back right there from Scotland. So that's really interesting because even though Scotland has good farm-raised salmon, the word organic is not regulated by the USDA, so you have to trust the farmer or trust the purveyor that it's organic, but it's not regulated, so it could be a little sketchy. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Flavor family, that is it. Seafood review video is done, but Art, what is your favorite seafood?
I like to grill some salmon with a little bit of olive oil, lemon, and dill marinade.
I can get behind that. That's awesome, you guys. So all the information is down below. Also in the description box is the promo code for the Cyber Monday Black Friday Four Sigmatic deal. Check that out, you guys. 2 more videos are going below us right now. But like, subscribe, share. These videos are a beast to make, and Art and I do them just for you. And let us know where else you want us to go, right? You vote. You decide. Art and I make the videos, but Art and I leave you like we always do. Hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace.